Hi guys, this is Natasha, aka Natty Willie from the Nerd Element. I'm here with Janet Varney, aka Korra. How you doing?
I'm great, Natasha. How are you doing? How's your Sunday morning treating you?
It's good. It's good. I see all the fans meeting you. They're still in love with Korra. They still miss Korra. I miss Korra.
I hear you. I do too. That's why I got to come and connect with everybody because it kind of keeps it alive.
Yeah. Now, so for the fans, which was the youngest person that you've met so far? That's like a Korra fan.
Well, you know, I've met parents I've met babies who haven't been born yet.
Okay.
So I guess technically they are not fans, but their parents are such fans that I feel that they've got the fandom in their genes already. You know, I've met babies who were named Korra, and then just really little ones, which I kind of worry about sometimes because I was so scared by some of the stuff that happened in Korra. I'm like, I hope your parents were sitting right next to you, reassuring you that everything was going to be okay, because it's an intense show at times.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, little ones. I mean, we just had today. I had what looked like maybe a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old who had seen the show and loved her and felt inspired by her. Felt like she was a good hero, a heroine for them.
What do you think people most admire about Korra, or what have people told you I think people. She appeals to people for the same reason she appeals to me, which is that she is so flawed. I think watching her stumble a lot and not realize that she needed to ask for help from people and to face the demons that she didn't even know she had until they were in front of her and behind her, frankly. So I think it's really her humanity that people connect to. Certainly her toughness, but I think she makes us feel like we have what it takes in this universe, I think, since she wasn't perfect, Okay, and so now you're doing Stand Against Evil on IFC. Can you tell us about that show? Because for real, I just found out about it, I want to try and check it out if I can.
Yeah, so IFC is one of those channels like AMC and IFC both. It's like sometimes you have to catch Walking Dead or Portlandia on Hulu or what have you. So the first season is available on Hulu. It is definitely not like it for sure appeals to people who love like horror stuff. Yeah. But I'm not necessarily that person. But I love the show because it's very funny, and it was created by Dana Gould, who was responsible for some of the very best years of The Simpsons. So there's just a lot of jokes and goofy, and the relationship that I have with John C. McGinley, of course, is Dr. Cox on Scrubs and a million other things. It's really him and me together sort of battling these forces of evil in this small New Hampshire town. I play a sheriff, and we have to sort of figure out how to get along.
And it's different from like what you did. You were a voice of a cartoon hero pretty much. Right. So it's like, how does that balance, like how did you balance that out? Like did you transition, like how was that transition for you?
Well, I've spent most of my career on camera, so Korra is really the only like big sort of voiceover thing I've done because I'm working so much on camera. So for me, I'm also on a show called You're the Worst, which is like a kind of a darling of indie kind of mean-spirited comedy, which is an FX show, and so for me, getting to do voiceover is a treat because I don't have the same pressure of like putting on a uniform. In the case of Evie, the sheriff I play, she wears like really uncomfortable brown polyester pants. Oh. So shout out to all the law enforcement folk out there because I know your uniform is not comfy. Right? Yeah.
All right. So is this your first time in DC?
It's not. It's my second time only. I would love to have been here more and sooner. It's a really extraordinary city. There's nothing else like it. We can all agree. There's absolutely nothing else like DC in so many ways. And so it's been really, really great to connect with the community and meet all the people who are coming in from all over, because there is really this sort of like, I'm from Arlington, I'm from Richmond, I'm from Baltimore, I'm from Annapolis. And so that's been cool too, because it feels like it's this connecting point for so many other cities and communities.
So of course, would you be back if asked back?
Absolutely, in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Now with Korra, I loved season 3. Just the whole season, because it was an amazing season. So what was maybe your favorite season, or maybe even favorite fight scene?
God, that's really, really hard. I love all of the seasons so much, and they're so wildly different from one another.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of impossible to choose. It's like, well, I loved this about Amon's season. I love, Steve Bloom, amazing villain. What a way to start out the series with this incredible bad guy who kind of makes a lot of sense in a way. You know what I mean? So you're sort of like, well, he's not just like dismissible. You're not just like, oh, you're pure evil, get out of here. You're like, I see why this happened. I see how this took shape. I love the second season, the animation in the second season, the spirituality in the second season, the animals in the second season.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing. The third season, what a powerhouse. It's here, terrifying. I think action-wise, it was the best season. I think fight-wise, it was the best season. And so that would probably be my vote for just like anything that happened in the third season in terms of fight sequences were phenomenal.
We're here.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And then an emotional level.
Yes, exactly. Because then she had to recover from that in the fourth season, which was a hard journey for her, and she had to do it because she had to save the world again.
It was exactly right.
All right, so. Have you had any Korra cosplayers at all this weekend?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, did you get any photo ops with them, or were they mostly at the table?
I did. I think I had a handful of photo ops, and then different people who didn't do photo ops but were cosplaying as Korra through the line. And it's always like the best feeling. I love seeing, especially when people cosplay as a group. You know, obviously I get a lot of Korra and Asamis together, which I love.
Yeah.
Which was very true even before the relationship was official. It was great to see, and occasionally I'll get an Amon, which is always a little bit scary because they threaten to take my bending away.
What was your favorite bending? Like, did you prefer water bending, fire bending, metal bending, earth bending?
Yeah. Well, I think I'm probably if I could only bend one element, I would probably be a water bender. I think something about being up there in the snow with my fur trims and my naga, getting those, polar bear dogs, and that particular form of bending sort of fits my personality as Janet maybe the most.
So you also do a podcast as well. You're kind of doing a little bit of everything here. So you have a podcast. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. I have a podcast called The JV Club. I interview people far more successful, famous, and wonderful than myself, but it's a total honor and privilege to do. We talk about everything, but I definitely spend a fair amount of time talking about their awkward teenage years. So even people that you sort of in your head imagine like, oh, they were probably like prom queen, blah, blah, blah. These are, actors from like everyone's favorite shows. Certainly a ton of Avatar universe people I've talked to, but also like the Community actors, Mad Men, like all of it. And everybody has, these vulnerabilities that I think when you talk about how you were as an adolescent, it kind of opens people up more, because I'm not saying like, what made you sad yesterday? But if you find out what someone was like as a teenager, I think it's a really interesting way into who they are now. And it makes you realize like, oh, we're all human beings and we all have the same vulnerabilities and brokenness that we're all kind of like, it's a life's journey to work through that stuff. So, but it's a funny podcast.
And you've done Thrilling Adventure Hour. Do you still do that occasionally? Or?
Yeah, it's sort of retired as a concept, but we still get together and do improv shows, and we'll do fundraising shows and charity gigs and stuff like that. And so I get to see all those folks, and we still get together and do stuff. But as a podcast, as a regular podcast, it's kind of on hiatus, I guess.
Gotcha. And what other cons are you going to do this year?
That's a great question. I'll definitely be in New York. I imagine I'll be in San Diego, although I don't totally know that yet.
I usually don't find out. Walking around.
Oh yeah. Boy, in that city of a con,
exactly.
Right? And I'm trying to think if I have anything else lined up. It's hard because my production schedule for the TV shows that I'm on eats into a lot of cons that I used to do. But hopefully, I'll be able to make a couple of other ones this year, and I'll post that stuff on my website.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Janet,
for
talking to me today.
You got it. Natasha, my pleasure.